Please help me give a round of applause to our Professor Emeritus, Carl Moman, for that beautiful, beautiful organ prelude music. Thank you, Carl. It is certainly an honor and pleasure to be with you either through live stream or with you all that are here with us, and for all of our honored guests and most importantly, our students. Welcome to the commencement for Iowa Wesleyan University. This is a special day. It's the most important day in the life of an institution. It is graduation day. It's a fantastic achievement for each of you to have made it here today, and I'm proud to share this moment with each of you. Many of you are first-generation college students, like me. This is the first service that we've had open to public on campus in over a year at this level, as you continue to live in a world that is in the midst of a global pandemic like never seen before in history. But today we are here together to celebrate the most important asset of this entire institution. It's the lifeblood of the institution. It is you, the students. For 179 years, Iowa Wesleyan has been training students to become future leaders. Leaders such as teachers, police officers, astronauts, physicists, healthcare providers, Time Person of the Year, lawyers, trailblazers, and many more. But this does not happen by mere accident. It's because of the dedication of the students and the power of the teaching that resonates right here on this campus, and it literally every day changes lives. I know I'm biased, and I'll be the first to say it, but I honestly believe we have one of the best faculty in this region and one of the most dedicated in the country with us right here today. They are the faculty of Iowa Wesleyan, and they are your teachers. If you're a faculty member, will you stand so we can at least be able to acknowledge you today? As the African proverb goes, it takes a village to raise a child. Family, friends, loved ones, teachers that believe in you and have watched you walk through your education. As we move forward with our service, it was with great pleasure that I welcome to the stage Reverend David Brock Wagner, the pastor of our First United Methodist Church here in Mount Pleasant. It's our sister church of the university. Pastor Brock Wagner also serves on our board of trustees. He will lead us in an opening invocation, so please stand as I welcome our pastor to the stage.
Let us pray. O holy and loving God, we give you thanks for this day, for the culmination of studies and papers, tests, and dreams. Lord, we thank you for all the hard work that has been put forward. And Lord, we thank you most of all for the days yet to come, where that hard work is put into practice. The relationships that have been formed and built come to fruition. Lord, for each and every day from this place and forward, may the roots be placed deeply so that no matter where we go, we know we are tigers and we know we are yours. In Christ's name, amen.
Also, a special welcome to, please be seated, sorry. Special welcome to our audience that are watching around the world, to those watching in Australia, Puerto Rico, Spain, watching very different sites. So thank you, Haiti. I see all kinds of flags. You'll see that on our students. So hello to you guys, and thank you for watching this live stream. This is always a pleasure of mine, but we're getting ready to have a performance by our IW Concert Choir, and that's under the leadership of Professor Blair Buffington. Professor Buffington, the floor is yours with our students. It's so great to hear our choir live. What an amazing performance. Let us all once again give a round of applause to our students. This is an example of the many great students. Some are graduating today, walking up. Some are even on the stage that you may have heard walking off to go up and sing, who will be back. So once again, applause for our musicians. At this moment, it is my distinct honor to introduce the 30th president of Iowa Wesleyan University, as well as the very first female president in our storied 179 years, Ms. Christine Plunkett. Chris has been in administrative and executive positions in leadership, accounting, and finance for more than 25 years, including 20 years in secondary and higher education, and several years as a technology consultant and a small business owner. Through the Registry of Colleges and University Presidents, she joined the executive team of Iowa Wesleyan University in 2015 as our Vice President of Finance and Treasury, and then became our president in July of 2019. Prior to joining Iowa Wesleyan, President Plunkett served in executive positions for 4 years at Burlington College in Burlington, Vermont, including 2 years as a president. Everyone, please welcome our president, Christine Plunkett.
Thank you, and welcome everyone on this absolutely gorgeous, windy, sunny day. Today's commencement is truly a momentous occasion. You, our graduating students, have weathered the challenges of one of our nation's most unsettling years. It's been an extraordinary time of sacrifice in the face of a global pandemic. The traditional joys of college life were turned upside down as we asked you to don masks, socially distance, and isolate yourselves. We know how challenging this has been, but you have persevered. You've chosen to find the bright spots and focus on a positive and meaningful future. You have continued to expand your intellect, write poetry, make music, and play sports. I couldn't be prouder of you for remaining true to our Iowa Wesleyan values in the face of uncertainty. You have patiently adapted and found new ways to be together in community. You've given hours of your time in service to others. You've discovered your capacity for weathering adversity. This is a trait that will benefit you forever. And you've exhibited courage during a time of great challenge. As we honor all of our graduates today, it's my great privilege to announce this year's recipients of the President's Award and the Chadwick Teacher of the Year Award. The President's Award recognizes a graduating senior who has demonstrated responsible and unselfish use of talent and leadership through their engagement in campus activities throughout their entire undergraduate career. Nominees must be in high academic standing with a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.0 and must have modeled exemplary academic effort and engagement. This year's recipient has held officer positions or been actively engaged in the Behavioral Science Club, the Gay Straight Alliance, Theta Sigma Rho, the Student Union Board, and the Melanin Appreciation Club. She has served as a resident assistant for 3 years and as an academic tutor in statistics, psychology, sociology, and history for 2 years. She has also been an active participant in the IW choir, served as an IW tour guide, and participated in the Arkansas Relief Service trip in 2017. This year's recipient earned third team all-conference honors as a member of the IW Women's Distance Medley Relay team at the SLIAC Indoor Championships in February, and she is currently 7th on IW's all-time record list in the weight throw with a throw of 6.2 meters. Academically, our recipient has had many achievements, including being named to the Dean's List numerous times. She has been a leader in the psychology program for a number of years, mentoring freshmen who are entering the program and tutoring students in the Student Success Center. She's been a teaching assistant for the cognitive psychology class, leading class discussions, developing curriculum, and ensuring that students understand difficult material. She has also selflessly volunteered her time to assist in other psychology classes. It is my distinct honor and privilege to award the 2021 President's Award to Veronica Morgan. Veronica demonstrates the traits of an inspirational leader who will go far in life. Congratulations, Veronica.
Thank you, President Plunkett. Good afternoon, everyone. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Veronica Morgan, but most of you know me by V. Being a first-generation college myself, like most of you, all I can say is, wow, here we are. We did it. Who would have thought that we'd all be sitting here together starting the next chapter of our lives? We all have come such a long way to get to where we are. And I'm very excited to be here. I want to start by having you all close your eyes. Imagine freshman year. Everything you wanted to do, everything you wanted to experience, everything you wanted to accomplish. Now open your eyes and look where you are. When I first made my decision to come to Iowa Wesleyan, all I knew was that I wanted a small school with a tight community, because that's all I knew. When I first visited Iowa Wesleyan, I just knew this was a school for me. When coming here freshman year, I knew this school was going to give me countless opportunities and challenge me to put my best self first. Iowa Wesleyan will always hold a special place in my heart. The people here are something special, and here you can be anything and everything you want. Things that people tend to be the opposite, and they say you can't do both. For example, I was in athletics, but I was also one of the music nerds. I was in sorority, yet I was also the resident assistant for 3 years. Here at Iowa Wesleyan, you can do everything you want and you don't have to choose. Since being here at Iowa Wesleyan, I have found myself and what type of person I want to become. Some of you may or may not know this, but my freshman year, I was extremely shy. And if you know me now, you're probably thinking, Veronica, shy? Okay. But it's true. I just remember telling myself one time, why not? Why not say hi to everyone? Why not start in conversations and be genuine? Who cares if I fall or embarrass myself? No one's going to remember. And if any of you remember me falling down the science hall stairs sophomore year, well, there you go. I decided to start getting involved because at this school I saw the potential it had and what potential it had for me to become a leader. I wanted to take advantage of those opportunities that were presented. I didn't want to just sit in my dorm room for the past 4 years. They say college is the best experience of your life, so I thought, let's make it happen. That one moment, I decided to truly be myself and take chances. I would like to think that's what helped me get to where I am today. I went from the girl first day of freshman year raising my hand to see if I could use the restroom, to teaching material, to now speaking to all of you today. All you need is a little bit of confidence and just believe in yourself a little more. I'm not standing here to tell you all about myself or what lies after us. I'm standing here to tell you that each and every one of you should feel special about the classmates around you, getting to be part of the Iowa Wesleyan family. I would like to take a moment to reflect on all of our memories we have created the past 4 years. This includes all the 2 a.m. McDonald's runs, late night homework assignments due to procrastination. Caitlin knows a lot about this one. Ramen noodle dates, homecoming, and athletic events. Speaking of 2 a.m. McDonald's runs, I specifically remember my freshman year, I was hanging out with a group of friends, not gonna name any names, but Caitlin, Corey, and Carter. We went to go get some food, and as you know, McDonald's in Mount Pleasant at 2 a.m. is extremely slow. We were on our way back to campus when all of a sudden we heard a very loud scream and we slammed the brakes. We were wondering what was happening. It was Carter. He was screaming because they forgot his buffalo sauce. And I think that's the crazy thing about college is you're gonna meet a lot of different types of people. Those emotional about not getting buffalo sauce, to those just kind of going with the flow, not knowing what's going on like Joanna, to those nerds in the lab like Lena. Those are the people that are also deserve to be standing next to you. With all the good and everything we've been through, I can say that Iowa Wesleyan's class of 2021 is hands down one of the strongest classes. I specifically remember November 2018, sophomore year, the last time we were all sitting in here. We were all uncertain of what the future of Iowa Wesleyan was going to look like, and a lot of us scared. Yet we got through it, and here we are. Then, junior year, can't get worse. The pandemic started. Spring of 2020, us being set at home with all of our courses strictly online. Now this year, senior year, we're asked to socially distance, wear masks, hybrid classes, and still continue our education even with a nationwide pandemic. We persevered, were tenacious, and accomplished what seemed to be the impossible. I think that anyone that gets to meet any of you will know how strong you all are and what type of person each and one of you is capable of. Not only do us as a class get together and act like one, but we truly stayed together and showed what it meant to have the power of a Tiger family. Graduation to you might mean just checking one more thing off your list, or it might mean getting out of small town Mount Pleasant and never looking back. This will be the last time we are all in the same room together with the memories we created, and all we can do is replay them in the back of our mind and wish it slowed down just a little bit. I like to think of my college experience like a roller coaster. It was a little scary and intimidating to get on and start. However, once we got on there were a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and a lot of unexpected turns. Yet it was fun and fast, and we made it. Lastly, I want to thank everyone who has supported me on this crazy journey. I want to thank my parents for believing in me, my teammates, my choir family, and my coaches for making me feel welcome, dealing with me every single day, and supporting me. Not to mention, I want to thank the wonderful faculty and staff for their support, with a special shout out to Professor Huff, Professor Hansen, and then Katie and Louis Saranda. And of course, I want to thank all of my friends. Whether we've been friends since freshman year or just became friends this semester, you all have a special place in my heart, and I am incredibly grateful to get to know each and every one of you. As I wrap up here, I just want to leave you with this. Whatever the next steps are in your life, go out and give it your all. Live in the moment. I encourage you to live your life. Ed Helms once said, "Don't be afraid of fear because it sharpens you, it challenges you, and it makes you stronger. And when you run away from fear, you also run away from the opportunity to be your best possible self." Congratulations, class of 2021. Go Tigers, and thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Our next award recognizes excellence in teaching. Each year, the university honors excellence in teaching by bestowing the Chadwick Teacher of the Year Award upon a deserving faculty member nominated and chosen by his or her faculty colleagues and by students. The Chadwick Award is one of the university's most prestigious awards, and it has been presented at Iowa Wesleyan since 1971. This award was created and named in memory of Dr. J. Raymond Chadwick, who served as president of Iowa Wesleyan University from 1950 to 1961, and for whom the Chadwick Library is named. The recipient of this award must demonstrate exceptional performance in 4 domains: academic and professional excellence, quality of interaction with students, development of effective programs with high quality, and support of student growth and development. First, I'd like us to give a round of applause to the 2021 finalists for the Chadwick Teacher of the Year. And if you would stand up, please. Jennifer Krull, Division of Business, Shauna Hudson, Division of Education, and Paula Vallone, Division of Science. All 3 are outstanding candidates, and we are very proud of each of them. This year's recipient of the Chadwick Award is no stranger to anyone on campus, and certainly not to students in her discipline. One student had this to say in her nomination of the candidate: "She has been one of the most helpful professors I've ever had in my education. It's been a really rough semester for me, and she has gone above and beyond to check in and make sure I succeed. I cannot think of anyone better for this award." The recipient is known throughout campus for her strong and comforting voice to her students and colleagues. This recipient will always go the extra mile for her students. Another nominator had this to say: "She genuinely cares about every student's level of learning. She teaches in a way that is beneficial for all students. If you ever need help with anything, even outside of classwork, she is there for you. She has impacted my college experience greatly in a positive way." And another student said, My experience at Iowa Wesleyan with her has been enriching, stimulating, and has directly influenced my career path. But the praises are not only from her students, they are echoed by her colleagues. One colleague had this to say: I frequently hear students praise her teaching methods and the quality of learning achieved in her courses. She sets high expectations, yet makes sure students have the tools needed to meet them. She is an active leader on campus through her involvement with committees and shared governance. She serves on the Faculty Executive Committee, the Evaluation, Rank, and Tenure Committee, the Faculty Development Committee, and the Service, Learning, and Community Engagement Committee. For a period of her career, she also served as the chair of the Division of Education. Another faculty member said, students love how she challenges them to think critically about the concepts they are learning. Our provost, Dr. Fraser, had this to say: Dr. Shauna Hudson is one of the most experienced and dedicated classroom instructors you will find at any institution across our country. She has a genuine zeal and passion for teaching that is deeply rooted in her strong faith and love for people. She is an amazing family person, as evident in her relationship with her two children, Brendan and Reese, and loving husband, Chad. Dr. Shauna Hudson, please come forward so we can recognize you. A special thanks.
Let's get you to the right side together. Reese, would you hold the flower to me?
A special thanks to Chad and the children for being here to surprise Shauna today. Could you please give a wave, family? Dr. Hudson, all of us at Iowa Wesleyan are so proud of you, and we're honored to name you the 2021 recipient of the Chadwick Teacher of the Year.
Well, they should have never given me the mic. No, oh my goodness, I am so surprised and so honored. And when I look at my colleagues that I'm sitting here with and the years that I have enjoyed at Iowa Wesleyan, I am so, I'm so excited about our future and what's to come and what we're going to build here. And students, I look to each of you for the great things that you're going to do, and I can't wait to hear from you about your futures. And like I always say, once you have me, I'm yours forever. So you're only a call away. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Mr. Michael Patton. Michael Patton, who holds a Master of Arts degree, is currently the General Manager for the Walmart Distribution Center here in Mount Pleasant. He began his Walmart career in 2004 working as an investigator in the Global Security Division. In 2007, he joined logistics as a regional senior manager in asset protection, supporting 9 distribution centers in Texas. In 2010, he was promoted to Senior Director of Compliance, Safety, and Asset Protection, supporting 62 distribution centers across the country. In 2015, Michael was named the General Manager for the E-commerce Fulfillment Center in Chino, California. In this role, he led the startup of the 1.2 million square foot .com fulfillment center, which now employs over 4,000 associates with responsibility for shipping items direct to customers. Michael grew up in San Diego, California, and then moved with his family to Northwest Arkansas in 1989. He served 5.5 years in the U.S. Army Intelligence Corps with assignments in the 82nd Airborne Division and 7th Special Forces Group at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. After leaving the Army, Michael spent 7 years as a police officer, serving as a detective for 4 years and achieving the rank of sergeant before leaving law enforcement for Walmart. Mike lives in Danville with his wife, Vanessa, his pet donkeys, and a horse. He is active throughout the Henry County communities, and we are so proud to welcome him here today.
So I'm holding a bracelet that you guys are going to get, and on this bracelet it says perseverance. Continued effort to achieve something despite obstacles, challenges, or failures. That's the definition of perseverance. And I know many of you have persevered through a lot to achieve this milestone in your lives. I know we have representatives, Dr. Frazier, from I believe 10 different countries in this graduating class, which is incredible. And I know those students face geographical challenges just to achieve this milestone. When I think of perseverance, I actually think about 2020 and the challenges that we faced in 2020. It's funny, when I woke up on January 1st, 2020, I was certain about so many things that year was going to bring. I was certain that I was going to go to work and that it was going to be fundamentally the same as it's always been. It would have some differences here and there, but it was essentially going to be the same. I was certain my golf game, this was going to be the year my golf game got better. And I'm going to tell you something, I feel really bad lying to a group of professors this big. I've never lied to this many professors in one shot. It's fantastic. But I lie to myself every year. I'm sorry about that. It's one of my flaws when it comes to my golf game. But I was certain it was going to be better that year. Heck, I was certain I was going to have toilet paper. We know how that turned out, right? That didn't go so well. Then this thing, COVID-19, it started making landfall across the globe in all the different countries, and words like global and pandemic started being put together, and suddenly everything we were certain about became uncertain. And I was surrounded by uncertainty. We were facing things like illness, death, masks, social distancing, lockdowns, shutting down the jobs. We were uncertain about employment. We were uncertain whether or not the supply chain for this country was actually going to uphold and withstand the pandemic we were facing. We were surrounded by uncertainty. I can remember a day when I was sitting in my office, and it was at the height of the pandemic, and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to lead 700 plus people through the most uncertain and challenging times a leader could ever face. And as I thought about those uncertainties, I realized that I actually learned about uncertainty from an unlikely source. So let me tell you about a 16-year-old girl who dropped out of high school. She dropped out of high school not because she hated school. She didn't drop out of high school because she didn't like school or was bad at school. She dropped out because I was on the way. You see, that 16-year-old girl was my mom, and she had to make a tough choice back then in her very young life. Fast forward, I don't know my real father. I've never met my real father to this day. And fast forward a couple of years, and she had married my stepdad at that time, and later had my middle brother. I'm the oldest of 3 boys. When I was about 8 years old or so, she ended up separating from my stepfather at that time. And she packed me and my middle brother up, and she moved to San Diego, California, where her parents, my grandparents, lived. She was a single mom with 2 boys, and even at that time, Southern California was one of the most expensive places with the highest cost of living across the country. And so I watched my mom surrounded by uncertainties every single day. She was uncertain how she was going to make ends meet. She was uncertain on what the challenges that single day, every single day held. She was uncertain about so many things that she faced. There were times she was uncertain about what food she was going to put on our table. And as I reflected back on those times in watching this, I recalled that she used to always say her prayers with me and my brother. And during those prayers, I come to realize something, that she actually had something I call fundamental certainties. For example, she was fundamentally certain that people are inherently good. She was fundamentally certain that things were going to work out with hard work and effort. You could achieve anything. She was fundamentally certain that her boys were going to go on to do more than she ever had the opportunity to do. And she was fundamentally certain that things happened for a reason. And those fundamental certainties never changed, despite what she was facing, despite the challenges she faced. They never wavered. They never changed. It was the foundation on which she walked. My challenge to each and every one of you is find your fundamental certainties. And when you're surrounded like times we just came out of, and to an extent are still in a little bit, and that ground feels a little bit shaky, find your fundamental certainties and stand upon those. They'll help you gain a solid footing to maneuver through any challenges and persevere as you go forward. I have another piece of advice for you guys. And that's simply this: no matter what path you choose, what career you choose from this point forward, my advice to you is connect to a purpose. In your purpose is where you'll find your passion. In your purpose is where you'll find your passion. And I'm looking at you in the front row, and I know what he's thinking. He's like, man, you read that in a leadership book. I know, some professor told you that years ago. I got it. Man, I didn't. I actually didn't. I figured it could be in a leadership book. I'm not saying it's not. But I realized later on in life that I actually lived my life that way. Let me use my career and my journey as a backdrop to highlight and illustrate that piece of advice for you. So I started off, my first real job was in the military. The purpose of the military is to defend our freedoms. Our men and women who put on the uniform for this country every single day, that's their purpose. That's a purpose I connected to. It's a purpose I believed in. And as a result, I did very well in that environment. Started at the bottom and worked my way up. Law enforcement was my next job. The job of law enforcement is to protect and serve the communities in which they're sworn to do so. Now it's tough times for law enforcement right now across our country. I was never the kind of cop that said, do it because I have a badge and I have a gun and I'm better than anybody else. I'm actually a people person. One of the reasons why I left law enforcement is because I got tired of seeing good people hurting on a regular basis. See, I learned two things in law enforcement. I learned that there is evil in this world. There's no doubt about that. But I also learned that there's good people who make bad decisions, but they're still good people. They are still good people. And they're not the same. And so, but that is a purpose I connected to. It's a purpose that drove me, and I did well in that environment. When I came to Walmart, I didn't know what purpose I was going to be serving. I came to Walmart on a Women of Prayer, hoping that I would serve something greater. And I figured out that purpose about 3 years into my time, 3 or 4 years of my time with the company. I'm gonna tell you that story real quickly. So I was on a distribution center visit down in Cleburne, Texas. We have a distribution center down there. I'm walking with the leadership team, and my job is to point out what they're doing well, point out things they needed to work on. We get out onto their dock, and I see they're doing a pallet, and there's a quality assurance associate. She's doing an audit, and her job was to check that pallet to make sure that all the product that was supposed to be on there for the store was in fact there. I asked how her audit's doing. She says, not good. We're shorting the store's diapers. I said, what do you mean we're shorting the store's diapers? And she says, we're supposed to have X amount of cases on there and it's short. I said, is it just this one or has it been going on for some time? She goes, no, it's been going on for some time. So I looked at the leadership team and said, what's going on with the diapers? They said, yeah, she's right, Mike. We don't know what's going on. We're trying to figure it out ourselves. So I left the DC that night about 6 p.m. I did not feel like going back to my hotel room. So instead I went down the road to the Walmart Supercenter. I went into the infant section where the diapers are on the shelves. And I look and I see empty shelves where I should see cases of diapers. So I pull out my phone, I take some photos of the empty shelving, I put my phone away, I'm about to walk out, and this lady pushing a basket with about a 2-year-old little girl sitting in the little seat there in the basket. She almost runs me down. She stops, she apologizes, we start talking for a second. And then she asks me, are you with the corporate offices? And I look at her because I'm like, how would she ever know that? I thought she might be Madam Cleo from the 1-800-Psychic line. And she could see the confusion in my face, and she said, your badge, it looks different than everybody else's. See, I was wearing a home office badge, and it looks drastically different than our store badges. And I said, yeah, I am with the corporate offices. At this point in time in Texas, our company, my company, Walmart, was under attack in the media for some things that were happening in the stores. 99% of that coverage was nonsense. They didn't want to hear two sides of a story. That really doesn't make for good news a lot of times, but it was what it was. And she asked me this question. She said, hey, you guys are getting beat up in the media. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? And I said, not good. I believe 99% of it is one-sided. They don't want to hear our side of the story, but I can't control that, but it doesn't make me feel good. And she said, let me tell you something. I'm a single mother, and without Walmart, I wouldn't be able to put clothes on her back and food on her table. So when you get back to your corporate offices, will you tell them thank you from me? See, I told you my story. I was that kid in the basket. I know what it's like to have a mother who struggles to make ends meet. My mother did not have Walmart in Southern California back when I was growing up. We didn't have that luxury. So for the first time in my Walmart career, I realized that save money, live better. You'll see it in our commercials. We have it on our walls in the distribution center in our store. Save money, live better. I realized for the very first time in my Walmart career, that wasn't a slogan for commercials or for our walls. That was actually the purpose of our company. And that's a purpose I connected to in Cleburne, Texas at 6:30 that night. And I never looked back. We covered the pandemic and the challenges we all faced. But what I didn't cover is the other challenges that 2020 brought us. Things like social justice and, unfortunately, social injustices. They dominated the headlines. They were center stage in this country and across the globe. We went through the most politically charged election our country has ever been through. And it felt to me like we were so divided on so many issues. Every issue had two sides, and that divide was really, really great and big, and sometimes impassable. And so it felt horrible, like we were being pulled apart. But the funny thing about life is that sometimes the biggest life lessons can come from the smallest events. So let me tell you about a time when I was back in my childhood again. I was 2 years younger than all my other friends that I hung around with at this time. And I rode BMX bikes with the kids that I hung around with. There was a school, an elementary school right next to our neighborhood that we used to ride our bikes on. And the schoolyard was broken down into two sides. One was a lower side where the school was at and all the playground equipment, concrete. The other side was high. It was about 5 or 6 feet higher. It was about 6 feet higher than the other side. And it was separated by a big gully, a big concrete ramp, and then a big drainage ditch. And that's where the dirt started. And it ran the complete length of the elementary school. And see, when we were going to go ride our bikes up there, my friends being older than me, they would just run, they ride real fast, and they would ramp, and they would jump that divide. It was too big for me to cross. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel comfortable. I couldn't make it. And so therefore, I would take my ride of shame all the way to the end of the schoolyard and go up this little trail and meet them all the way back. Well, you guys can imagine how that went as kids, right? Oh, making fun of, pointing, all the names and all that good stuff came along with that ride of shame, but that's what I had to do. I couldn't cross that divide. This happened countless times until one day we're going up there to ride our bikes and we have to jump. They start jumping the ditch and I start taking my ride of shame and I hear my name, Mike. I turn around and I see my friend and he's up in the ditch and he's off his bike. I can just see his head. And he comes out of the ditch with the board, just like this one. He puts that board across the divide and he says, come here, right across the board. And for the first time, I was able to cross where they crossed, and I rode across that board. And I got off my bike, and I was grabbing the board because I was going to hide it so that I could never have to go make that ride of shame again. I was going to hide it in the ditch under some leaves. And I saw the play yard for the first time from that perspective because I'd never seen it from that perspective there. And I'll never forget that day. So my challenge, the life lesson for all of you is simply this. When you're faced on two sides of an issue and that divide seems so big that you can't pass it, who are you going to be? Are you going to be the one that just makes fun of everybody else on the other side and goes on? Or are you going to stop and find a board and place that board down on that divide so that you or someone else can cross it and get a different perspective? Find that board, be that person, have the courage to cross it and gain a different perspective. President Plunkett, Dr. Fraser, the rest of the faculty and staff for Iowa Wesleyan University, thank you for this honor and being with you today. I want to thank my loving wife of 23 years. She's been my rock. I could never achieve this without her. I want to tell my mom, I work every single day of my life so hard the only way I know how to say thank you to her for her sacrifices that she made for me so many years ago and throughout my life. And to all of you, I want to tell you congratulations. Not only are you graduating and achieving a milestone, you're doing it in a year that required perseverance like I've never seen. You guys are so strong, and you should be so proud of yourselves. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me share this special day with you today. God bless each and every one of you on your journeys from here forward. Thank you very much.
going to direct your attention up to the sides here. Coach Hampton's going to be turning off the lights here in just a second. It's truly our prayer that each of us find and demonstrate resiliency and perseverance. You are so elegantly described in your address today, Mike. We really appreciate it. You know, it's your career, your life that's been amazing, but it's that model that you show us that we aspire to emulate. This is one of our true leaders in our community, and he's a humble person up until this today. So once again, Mike, thank you for being who you are. Many of us, like you, are first-generation college students, and today we stand at the apex of our education, earning our college degrees. May each of us be that plank of wood to help others and demonstrate that love to our fellow neighbors. Audience, once again, look at the two screens on the side. We're getting ready to have a presentation of our graduating class. All the photos were submitted by students and faculty. Enjoy our video as we take you down memory lane to have a glimpse at the amazing young men and women that are here graduating today. It's a moment like these that we truly dream and aspire for a better tomorrow. And you are the ones to accomplish this for the cities, the states, and the countries. Now, sit back and enjoy A Million Dreams, Tiger style.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, to say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see.
sees. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me
A million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
for the world we're gonna make. And so we talked all night about the rest of our lives, where we're gonna be when we turn 25. I keep thinking times will never change. Keep on thinking things will always be the same. But when we leave this year, we won't be coming back. No more hanging out, cause we're on a different track. And if you got something that you need to say, you better say it right now, cause you don't have another day. Cause we're moving on and we can't slow down. These memories are playing like a film without sound. And I keep thinking of that night in June. I didn't know much of love, but it came too soon. And it was me and you, and then we got real blue. Stay at home, talking on the telephone. And we would get so excited and we'd get so scared, laughing at ourselves, thinking life's not fair. And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever. So if we get the big jobs and we make the big money, when we look back now, will our jokes still be funny? Will we still remember everything we learned in school? Still be trying to break every single rule? Will little brainy Bobby be the stockbroker man? Can he ever find a job that won't interfere with pretend? I keep thinking that it's not goodbye. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me. that
Video
I
should
call
end now.
my own.
It's looping.
Through the dark together, and as our lives change,
We thought you might like to hear the remix.
we will still be friends forever.
I promise it'll stop in a moment. Some of you are looking, if you're going to look better looking in the second time. Not happening.
So if we get the big jobs and we make the big money, when we look back now, will our jokes still be funny? Will we still remember everything we learned in school? Still be trying to break every single rule? Will little brainy Bobby be the stockbroker man? Can he ever find a job that won't interfere with pretend? I keep thinking that it's not goodbye.
It's like a Zoom class, right? That just keeps going. Happens all the time.
And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever.
Does anyone know that? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, please. What's the name of the group that does that second song? It's pretty famous. Like people, no one knows the name? Vitamin C. Yeah. I had no clue who sang it, but it's in almost every graduation ceremony. President, if I'll get you to come forward to the stage as well. We'll turn the lights back on. Thank you, Coach Hampton. Now, as much as you love the video, and we did have actually excellent speakers, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Will all the candidates for the baccalaureate and the master's degrees please stand? Madam President, upon completion of the course of study prescribed by Iowa Wesleyan University and upon the recommendation of our faculty, I present these candidates to you for the conferring of the Bachelors of Science, the Bachelors of Art, the Bachelors of Science in Nursing, the Bachelors of General Studies, the Masters of Arts in Management Leadership, the Masters of Arts in Education and Curriculum Instruction. President?
Thank you. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Iowa Wesleyan University, and in accordance with the laws of the state of Iowa, I confer upon each of you the baccalaureate or master's degree to which you are entitled, with all of the rights, duties, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, having successfully completed the prescribed course of study and having been recommended by faculty to the Board of Trustees, and having been commended by a motion of the Board of Trustees to that effect. And now I invite you to come across the stage and accept your diploma.
Thank you. Please be seated. We will now proceed with the presentation of the diplomas and the hoodie of our graduate students. May I direct your attention to the programs you have, where there's an explanation about the 3 levels of Latin honors and the silver medal for academic distinctions. Candidates, when you come to the platform, I will ask you to hand your card to Miss Diane, my friend beside me here. Wait until she lets you go. Give me the card, and then you'll come and you'll see your X once again as we practice here with the president giving your diploma. And then our Board of Trustee Chair, Bob Miller, will be standing there to give you a fist bump as well. Just to know, we will be integrating throughout this May and August graduates, as well as December 2020. So this is a larger class in these 2 services because we are trying to have an opportunity to honor both 2020 and 2021. Now, for the first row, please stand and come forward. I will ask Dr. Herb Schmidt, the Chair of Business, and Dr. Cheryl Newland, the Chair of Education, to come forward to help us and assist with the hooding of our graduate students here at Iowa Wesleyan University. The brown will indicate the Masters of Arts in Management Leadership, a business degree, and the bright or the blue will represent education as they come forward to be hooded. Let's begin. Brock Quentin Chesley, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Roy Manfredi, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. The second row, come forward. You guys are smarter than me. I appreciate that. Mackenzie Notestein, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Delaney Olivia Van Ness, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Amanda Runquist, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Matthew David Bernstead, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Wendu, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Olias Clerval, Masters of Arts in Management Leadership. Olias is wearing the Haitian flag as an international student from Iowa Wesleyan. We'll now proceed to the Masters of Education and Curriculum Instruction, where Dr. Newland will come forward. These will be our first two graduates of Iowa Wesleyan in our history for the Masters of Education and Curriculum Instruction. First, Laura Johnson, Mechie degree. Don't shoot the messenger. Samantha L. Messenger, Masters of Education and Curriculum Instruction. Now we'll start our undergraduates as Dr. Schmidt and Dr. Newland leave our platform for us. Malicia Stefani Casana Banitas, please, wearing her Spanish flag, representing the great nation of Spain. Yvette Rodriguez, magna cum laude. Honduras? No, Honduras? Right, Rosemary? Rosemary Nicole Ochoa Montoya, representing the country of Honduras. The next row is coming forward. No pressure here. I'm going to try. Our next graduate, Genesis Adele Carrillo Lopez. Our next graduate, Kylie Lauren Akers. Kristen Allen Bernstead, magna cum laude. Lillian Elizabeth Hardcastle, magna cum laude. Ready? Allison Gibson. Trevor Lewis Hossis. And I'll certainly wave to my friend Adam Hassas. Thank you for being here, buddy. Videoing. Delaney Rochelle Wilson. Ricardo Guzman. Gylan Moore. Are you ready? I'm ready. Diamond, you were born ready. I was born ready. Diamond Michelle Williams. Sierra L. Hunter, magna cum laude. Destiny Aaliyah Strong. Kenyatta Gordon. Allie Logan Hunter. I'm a geography teacher. I have to test my flag knowledge. Leslie Ruiz Correa. Supporting the colors of El País de Puerto Rico. Next, our SGA president, Athena Bester, cum laude. Next row coming forward, Miracle Imani Denise Williams. Holly Christine Stevenson. Desmond Armstrong. You got your card? You want to go get in the next line after this? So you just walk around. Hello to the Jensen family watching in Australia. This is your baby boy, Carter Dan Jensen, summa cum laude. You can go follow him off. You ready? Here we go. Caitlin Ann Freilich, cum laude. Kelsey Koenig. Adrian Esteban Salmaron, summa cum laude. William Diego Solis. Elisabel Barrera Nahera, cum laude. Ashley Renee Hill. Our President Award winner, Veronica Cerise Morgan, cum laude. Alicia Tiara Sperber. Here we go. Jasmine Santos. Jessica Rose Lincoln. Practicing the names correctly. Caitlin Elizabeth Saunders Reader, magna cum laude. Miles J. Glover, cum laude. Miles is our first study abroad student to loop abroad in Thailand. He is sporting the Thailand national flag. Brandon Aguila, cum laude. Lena Victoria Hendrickson, summa cum laude. Diana Orentete, cum laude. Carrie Stalter, summa cum laude. Francesca Lee Rabenecker, summa cum laude. Alexandria Marie Reeves. Kara Clearwater. As we also represent our countries, we also represent our military by active military wearing sashes. Today, this recipient will be wearing his Army active duty sash. Kenneth Wayne Barnett, summa cum laude. Joanna Elizabeth Gonzalez Rodriguez. Bradley Gerald Jodis. Levi Christian Avery. All photos today by our professional photographer will be made available for students and others. We will send links and emails to your students about those. Jacob Jeffrey Leonard. Alexandra Iman, cum laude. Oscar Martinez, cum laude. Let's all give a hearty round of applause for all of these distinguished graduates. We will now ask our Director of Alumni Engagement, Diane Davis, to come forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am honored to be the first to congratulate you on your achievements and welcome you as the newest alumni of Iowa Wesleyan University. Your college experience was certainly impacted by an unprecedented worldwide pandemic. However, your hard work, persistence, resilience, and determination have paid off. As an Iowa Wesleyan University graduate, continue to be a tiger, tenacious, inspired, global, engaged, and respectful. Take risks, collaborate with others, be inclusive and community-minded, be deliberate, and be honest, ethical, and full of integrity. Your ongoing allegiance to these ideals, which you have upheld as a student, will serve you well in the months and years to come. I also encourage you to stay connected with your alma mater. Keep in touch, come back to campus often. Support your Tigers. We would love to have you involved in the future. In addition, I would ask and want to learn from each of you, what can Iowa Wesleyan do for you? These conversations and relationships will move us forward collectively to be the best we can be. I now invite you, as confirmed graduates, to turn your tassel from right to left, thus signifying the completion of your journey from a student to an alum of Iowa Wesleyan University. I wish each of you the best, now and in the future. Continue to be more, be the difference, be passionate, and most importantly, be you. God bless you, and congratulations.
I will first invite Professor Blair Buffington to come forward to lead us up there with the Wesleyan hymn, and then please remain standing for the benediction, which will be delivered by Pastor Brock Wagner. After that, we'll have the IW choir finishing with a sending song. Professor Buffington.
Receive now your benediction. As you go from this place, go filled with passion, driven by a purpose, and be persevered. Amen.
Thank you to the entire music program for Blair Buffington, Carl Moman, the choir. Thank you all for all the beautiful music today. Thank you. A couple quick instructions. Please allow for all of the students and for the faculty, staff, and platform party to be able to leave before you start leaving. When you do, the students will be meeting you right outside in this lawn on this side. So when you go out, just go back through these back doors, and that big grassy area is where the students will be. So please go and enjoy as many photos and whatever you would like to do out there, and plenty of places to take photos. But please remain standing as we get ready to start the processional in just a second. Thanks again for coming. Thank you for viewing here. I leave you today with these words from one of the most famous Iowa Wesleyan graduates of all time, the longest serving astronaut in U.S. history. Her advisor is here today, and 60 years almost teaching, Dr. D.P. Wilson. Thank you, Dr. Wilson. This quote is from the very first female commander of the International Space Station and longest serving astronaut in history, Iowa Wesleyan graduate, Dr. Peggy Whitson. I would certainly, and I quote, I would certainly encourage young people to pursue their dreams. It isn't always an easy path, but it's worth going after. And I figure if a farm daughter from rural Iowa can become an astronaut, you can do just about anything that you want to. Thank you, Dr. Whitson. We love you and thank you for loving your alma mater. We will process.